You're late for the very first time at work, and your boss looks at you and says,
"Yeah, you're always late."
Or you forget someone's birthday one time, and they look at you and say,
Gosh, you never think about anybody but yourself.
Sounds ridiculous, right? But this is exactly what we do to ourselves when we overgeneralize. We take one event and turn it into a pattern. I spent the first half of my life trapped by thoughts like these. So I consider myself an expert on beating myself up. Then I started learning about myself and how my brain works. And that helped me break free from the mental prison I had built in my own mind. And now I'm here to share what I've learned. 5 simple steps you can use to stop the madness and take back control of your thoughts. Hey, self-mastery mates, I just realized something. I've been making all these videos and I've never really properly introduced myself. I'm Kristen, your personal self-mastery coach, here to share my knowledge and my healing journey to help you unleash your limitless potential. Now let's get into today's video. What is overgeneralization? So overgeneralization happens when we take one piece of information, usually something negative, and spread it out to make it a pattern or a much bigger statement about ourselves or our lives. For me, this used to happen all the time. My brain would take one bad minute and treat it like it was the truth about my whole life. If I'd make one mistake, I'd be thinking, God, I always mess things up. One isolated event would turn into a story about who I was. Instead of, I made a mistake, my brain would say, I am a mistake. No bueno for the self-esteem. So why does our brain do this? No, your brain is not broken. I promise. It's doing what it's been designed to do. Find patterns. And that was like super helpful for our ancestors. If someone touched a hot stove, they learned,
"Oh, fire equals danger."
And that really helped to keep them safe. Sometimes our brains use that same system when we really aren't in any danger. Maybe somebody rejects you. Your brain learns being vulnerable equals getting hurt. So you start avoiding people because your brain thinks it's protecting you. And then there's another reason negative experiences can stick with us so strongly. It's called negativity bias. I'm sure you've heard of it. Our brains naturally pay more attention to negative stuff. Like, think about it. Say 10 people complimented you, but then one person criticized you. Which are you likely to hold on to? The criticism. Our brain often gives negative experiences way more attention than positive ones. And then when you combine that with our brain's need to find patterns, one negative experience can start to feel like a rule. But here's the good news. You can change the pattern. I'm proof. Fortunately, though, we can't just tell ourselves,
think positive.
That's like when I'm yelling at my GPS, I'm not lost, while driving in the wrong direction still. Happens all the time. Instead, we need to challenge our thoughts. We need to look at what really happened. Not like just pretend everything is great, but just see the situation more clearly. So here's a simple 5-step process I created to help you do just that. And I turned it into an acronym, which you know I love if you watch my other videos, to make learning even easier. It's called the CALMS method for overgeneralization. All right, the C is for catch it. Most cognitive distortions or negative thought patterns have extreme words, and like always, never, everyone, everybody, nobody, nothing. And when you hear one, you got to pause and say, whoa, that's an extreme word. Now, don't fight it. Just notice it. And A is for ask. Be a detective. Ask yourself, is this really 100% true? Do I always really mess everything up? Does nobody care about you? Does nothing ever work out? Usually, and hopefully, the answer is no. L is for look for an exception. Find one thing that doesn't fit that thought. If you're thinking, oh, I'm awkward, I never say the right thing, then think back and find a conversation that went well. You're not making up something positive. You're just looking for evidence that thought isn't the whole story. Make it fit the facts. Now we're going to make the thought more accurate. Instead of, oh, I'm a total failure, I ruin everything. Try, I made a mistake, but one mistake doesn't make me a failure. Instead of, nobody likes me. Try, that person and I didn't connect, but I have lots of people in my life that love and care about me. You're not pretending the bad thing didn't happen. You're putting it back in its proper place. S is for separate the mistake from you, from your identity. Remember, something you did is not who you are. You can say, I made a mistake, but I am not a mistake. Or, I failed at that task, but I am not a failure. You can learn from what happened without letting it define you. One event is one event. It doesn't have to become your whole story. All right, self-mastery mates, that was a lot of brain talk. I think before we put calms into practice, it's time for a little puppy love. This is my baby girl, Dusty, and she's so sweet, and she makes me feel so good about myself. Give everybody a hug. Mwah. Okay, I think I'm calmed down now. Haha. Let's take a real life example and walk through and apply all the steps from the calms method so you can see it in action. So when I started my YouTube channel, I was super excited. I'd worked hard and I knew I had important things to share. I'm just passionate about helping people. But my views are low and my sub count is growing, but slowly, very slowly. And honestly, I got triggered. And those old thought patterns started coming back. Nobody wants to listen to me. I never do anything right. I could feel that anxiety rising. You know what I'm talking about. Heart racing, sweat starts coming on. This time I knew what was happening. I caught the extreme words. Nobody, never. And I recognized the pattern. Then I asked myself, is it really 100% true that nobody listens? No. That was a huge leap. Step 3, I looked for the evidence. Your channel is growing. I have people that are watching and I have valuable information to share. Step 4, make it fit the facts. I told myself, people aren't subscribing right away and that hurts. My content isn't for everyone. If I can even help one person, then it's worth the work. Then I separated the results from my identity, from who I am. My views are a result, not a measure of my worth. I'm creating, I'm learning, I'm growing. That's what really matters. The anxiety didn't disappear immediately, but it stopped growing. Instead of allowing it to become a hurricane in my head, it became a storm that I could manage. The new script didn't erase my feelings, but it helped me take back control. Letting one mistake define you is like letting one cloudy day make you say, hey, the sun is gone forever. It feels true in the moment, but it's not the whole truth. Now you've got 5 steps to help you control those thoughts. Mistakes are not verdicts. They're not life sentences. They're information. They're lessons, part of being human. Allowed to learn from what happened without letting it define who you are. You got this, self-mastery mates. Stay calm.